right, thank you, Steve. I really wasn't planning to do a story tonight, but I didn't even know what the theme was when I came. I was just coming to check it out. I've done this before at Delco, at the Delco Story Slam, and I've never been to Westchester, so I wanted to see. And now that I've watched everybody else's stories, I kind of felt inspired, and Steve's going to take over my judging duties back there. I want you to think about this for a second, freedom. I want you to think about what's in your purse or what's in your pocket, and think about how many keys are on your key ring. Because every key on that key ring represents less freedom. Every key on the key ring means less freedom. Do you remember living a moment in your life when you did not have keys? Think about that. I remember when I was 28 years old, I suddenly was divested of everything that related to a key, and I never felt more free in my life. I had gone to college in a very unconventional way. I went at night, and then I quit my day job, and I went in the day, and it took me years to complete my college education. When I was 28 years old, I said, before I go get an adult job, I'm going to lose everything, and I'm going to go to Europe for as long as I damn want. And that's what I did. I sold my car. I got out of my apartment. I didn't have a home, but I sold everything. And I remember when I left that apartment and I walked out of the manager's office and I left the key there, I walked out the door with a backpack and not a single key. And I realized without a key, you are free. You're broke, but you're free. And I was on my way, and I had gotten on a bus, and in Los Angeles, people don't really take buses. People without keys take buses, I guess. But I was taking a bus to the airport, and I was on my way, and I was driving, and I'd never taken a bus through Los Angeles all the way from like southern Orange County, and I'm on the bus, and I remember a conversation, and a woman asked me, because I didn't see backpacks, she said, "Where do you live?" And I looked at that backpack, and I knew I had no keys, and I said, right now I live right here. This is where I live. And for the entire trip, I was like concentrated on that, because when you're like 17, you don't have keys. When you go to college, you don't have keys. Maybe you get a key to your dorm. I don't know. I never lived in a dorm. But when you're 28, you've already spent years living with responsibility and keys. I'm holding my keys. You're accustomed to keys. And I gave up all those keys, and I went to the airport with a backpack and no keys. And I went on the typical journey. I was between homes. I wasn't going back to Los Angeles. I was going to move back here to Philadelphia, and I didn't have a home, and I didn't have any keys, no keys to anything, and keys represented, not having keys represented freedom. And when I was like traveling around, and we were in Ireland, and we were in Germany, and we were in Greece, and we were in Turkey, we were just moving all over the place. There's the subculture of backpackers, and none of us have keys, right? None of everybody has a key. Well, met this girl, and we decided to we were hanging together, we were traveling a few places together, and we decided to upgrade from youth hostels where you don't get keys, right? You just get like a bunk, and there's like girls' bunks and boys' bunks depending on the country you're in. But we were in Ireland, and we decided to upgrade to a bed and breakfast. This was heady stuff for backpackers, and we signed into the bed and breakfast, and they gave us the room, and you know what they gave us? A key. And that key meant privacy. And that key meant you could lock that door behind you. And the key also meant you were responsible for that. And I remember focusing on that key. I was alone in a hotel room with a 20-year-old Swedish girl, and I was looking at the key. That's all I could think about was this. I have a key in my hand again. And that's the story of my life. I never had any gain. But I remember I traveled all over, and I never had a key again until I returned to Philadelphia, and my family was here, and I moved in with my brother, and that first day, he handed me a key to his house, and he said, we're roommates now, here's your rent, here's your key, and I got back into it, and I've established my life again, and I had keys. And every key that you own represents a little less freedom. Maybe a little more personal security, but a little less freedom. And to this day, I still carry 2 keys. I'm a grown man with children, job, homes, cars. I don't carry all that like user club crap on my key. Every time they ask me to put those things on my keys, I hate that. And it's like I like a minimum of keys. If I ever needed to vest myself quickly, it's only 2 keys, and I could be free again. Thank you.